This model was apparently kind of tough, but let's show you one way to do it. Okay, so this is the phase one of the model. Now, in case any of you haven't ever done SolidWorks, haven't done Model Mania before, the way that it works is just like in real life, right? You design a part, and then a few months down the road, your boss tells you, actually, we got some changes to make. We got to do some edits. So we kind of fast forward that into Model Mania, and we say, here's part one, or phase one. We're going to go ahead and create that. And then once you're done designing that, then we give you the revisions in phase two. So let's see how to do this, this part here, phase one. So we started off in the booth. We go and fill out our information. We hit the start button. The timer begins. The stress begins. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just start a sketch on the top plane. Just draw a nice circle, a line. So I'm basically creating this from the top view to get that boss and then the arm that comes out. So I'm playing this in real time, okay? This is not sped up at all. I wanted to make sure that you could see how to do this. So I go and apply the features. We're going to go and grab our circle. Just basic features: sketch, extrude boss, cut extrude, fillets. That's about it. So now we're going to go ahead and use this line in our sketch and finish creating that outline. So now we're going to add a full round fillet onto this to get our nice rounded shape. Different people did different things. You could also create a sketch with half of a circle and do a cut. That's fine as well. Now we're going to go do the cutout here. What I did is I just drew a rectangle. A lot of people created a sketch from the top plane and then extruded in both directions. That would work too. So I go and apply my dimensions, get this positioned right, and then I'm going to do just a regular cut extrude, and I'm going to go right up to this round surface. So up to surface, click there, done. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to go and create our boss over here on the side. So I'm just going to go and create a nice tombstone shape. And again, this is real time. This is not sped up. So we're going to go and apply our dimensions. We've got 30 millimeters there, 25 millimeters over here. And again, lock this into the origin just using a mid-plane relation. And then finally, extrude mid-plane 30 millimeters. Okay, so now we're going to go create the hole in the top there. And this is a 42 millimeter diameter. And we're just going to do a regular cut extrude, cut that through. And then we need to have a little slot on the clamp area so that that screw can clamp in on the pole that this is going to go on. So I'm just going to draw a line and then use a thin feature cut. And just cut that through. Piece of cake. Okay, we're almost there. Now we're going to go and apply our holes using the hole wizard. And we're going to put in a socket head cap screw, M6. Position that right in the middle of our two round bosses there. So we'll do one, hit the enter to get the same thing again. So it's the same exact hole. Position that over there. And all that's left to do is to go and put a nice hex on the back there, which is where our nut is going to go in. So we'll just go ahead and place that. 11 millimeters. With a depth of 6 millimeters. And then the very last thing I'm going to do is just to apply the fillets after this. So we'll go and apply the fillets. And I'm going to select those inside faces of the cutout. We're going to apply a 2 millimeter fillet and fillet along the edges there. Now, some people did have some issues with fillet order. So you can see I've created almost all the fillets, and then I'm going to come back and do the fillets around the perimeter of our boss there. So that's phase one. That's it. Piece of cake. Now we need to apply the material and then get the weight of our part. So this was the weight for phase 1, 337.97 grams. So once you're done that, then we bring you the revisions, phase 2. And here's phase 2. So what we're going to do is we need to have the arm that came straight out here. It needs to be 45-degree angle now. We need to elongate it slightly from 65.5 to 73. And we're going to replace the hole with a slot. So let's see how that's going to look. So I'm just going to simply go in and edit that original sketch, change that 65.5 to 73, and then get rid of the horizontal and vertical relations that were holding that line in place. Move it up, bing, bang, boom, add a 45-degree dimension to that, and then just change that hole into a slot. So I'm going to just simply edit that. And instead of using a countersunk hole, we're going to go with a countersunk slot. And then set the parameters that we need. We needed an 8mm width in there. And we're just going to go ahead and position that. So that is phase 2. And if you got all that done in under 20 minutes, then you... well, whether you finished or not, we gave you a Model Mania badge ribbon. So hopefully a lot of you in the audience have your Model Mania badge ribbon to display and bring home. So this was our final mass. Phase 2 was 356.27 grams. So again, this is our final part, the weight of phase 1, the weight of phase 2, and you can see our 2 models there. So once again, our champions. If you're here in the audience, please stand up. Let us give you a round of applause. Great job, everybody. Okay, so that's the in-person challenge. Now, we also have a virtual challenge. Okay, so for the first 21 years of Model Mania, it was always in person. Then the last 2 years, we were only virtual. This year, we get to do both. Even better, right? So now we've got even 6 more winners that we're going to announce. So let's go through the virtual challenge. So our virtual winners. Our in third place, if you're out there on SolidWorks Live, congratulations to Marinus Norhe from Maida Tiffany. Great job. In second place, Cody Laughlin from Edgewater Automation. And Cody, you've won a few times. I know you're out there. Good job, Cody. And in first place, Eric Hutchings from Cade Industries with a time of 14:08. Great job, Eric. Okay, our reseller champions. So in third place, we have Brent Rogers from Trimec. Brent, are you here? Oh no, you're virtual, of course. Brent, out there on SolidWorks Live. Great job. In second place, we have Brandon Dry from MeCAD Systems. Great job, Brandon. And in first place, Sarah Taylor from Trimec with a time of 16:53. Excellent job, Sarah. Great job. So now, let's take a look at what this part was. This was slightly more complicated because there isn't a phase 2, okay? This is, as I said, the virtual challenge. So you just get the one part, you create it, tell us the mass, and you're done. So it was a little bit tricky, but let's see how we can actually do this. So I'm going to start off with a pretty complex sketch because it's kind of a complex part. So I'm going to draw my 2 circles, draw the 2, bars coming down there. We'll go ahead and get these collinear and equal, add all of our relations and dimensions that we need. We've got an overall diameter of 55. The diameter of the hole inside is 15. We know all these dimensions off of the drawing. And I'm just going to go ahead and get these all positioned here. Our overall length is 85. Now we're going to go and start trimming. So we'll trim off all the excess that we don't need. And then we need to get, we've got those 2, planar faces coming down that were 30 degrees off the side. So we'll just go ahead and draw those in there, make sure that's nice and tangent. We'll go ahead and mirror that. So whatever we do on one side will be mirrored across to the other side. And then we'll add a dimension of 30 degrees. We'll go trim that off. Trim it off. And then I'm going to go and actually create that inner cutout. So we're going to offset this by 5 millimeters. Now, some people did a shell, which would be fine. Some people created another sketch on the face later on, which would also be fine. There's many, many ways to do this. So as you can see, I've created that other sketch there. We've trimmed that off. And now let's go and do our final thing and add some fillets. So we've got 3 millimeter fillets on the inside cutout there. We've got 20 millimeter fillets on the outside of that face. And we're done. We're finished the sketch. So now we're going to go ahead and create our first feature. I'm going to extrude that up by 50 because that's how tall the part is. And then I'm going to go and do my cut on the inside there. I'm going to actually, this is on the top plane, but I'm offsetting where the feature starts by 2.5 millimeters because the thickness of the web is 5. So then we're going to mirror it to the other side. I'm going to do a quick check on section cut. Looks good. Keep going. And now we're going to create the profile of our part. Now this got a bit tricky because the bottom is actually a planar face and the top is a curved face. There were quite a few people that did curved on both. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and do exactly what the drawing said to do. So we're going to have a line on the bottom, an arc on the top. We'll make everything tangent. Everything works good. You can see everything there, perfect. We'll go and do a quick trim, add the dimensions that we need. So we've got a 15 millimeter radius, and then on the top, 265. We're all fully defined, fully constrained. We'll do a cut. And we're going to cut this through all, but we're going to cut to the outside of the sketch. And there we go. So there's our beginning of that part. Next, we're going to go and add in our hole wizard holes. So we've got a socket head cap screw M6. And we'll just go ahead and apply that. And this one actually has a depth of 4.6, which was different from in person. So if you did both, one was 6 millimeter, one was 4.6. So we'll go and apply the polygon on the back there, our hex, and get that all positioned. Again, that's where the nut will eventually go once we connect this up together in its assembly, which was not required for Model Mania, but that's what this will be part of. Now, the next thing is we need to go and get those slots in there. There were 4 slots on the back of this part, but they were offset by 35 degrees and 15 millimeters up. So there were different ways to do this. What I did is I created a plane 15 millimeters up, and then I created a line that was going to designate exactly that point where the slot would go. Okay, so I'm going to create a plane right there. So that plane is where the slot is going to be. So now I'm applying my slot wizard. And we'll go ahead and place that right onto that plane. And we will make sure that that is vertical, and we're going to pierce that center point of the slot with our line to make sure it's in the right spot. And then we're going to go ahead and mirror that, mirror it around the right plane and the top plane to make sure we get all 4. And finally, we'll go and apply those fillets. And a lot of people added fillets to the inside edge here, which was not part of the drawing. So, but there we go. So there is our completed part. And we go and apply the material, and again, go and get that mass there. So the correct answer was 476.99 grams. And that was the part for the virtual challenge. So again, congratulations to all of our winners. And I'm going to turn it over now to the cloud challenge. We're going to, Gian and Noah are going to tell you all about that challenge. So again, congratulations to everyone. Thank you.